to Card Design Thursday, where each week I try to design new cards and build up my card base. So this week I am using some scraps and bits and pieces of things that I have left over from other projects to create a new card. And this is the card that we're going to be doing this week. It is a fall card. I don't know about you, but I'm so ready for fall to be here. I don't know what to do. And so I found this stamp for this wooden fence in my stash from a long while. You know, I must have had it forever. And so I've been trying to clean things out, and I found this. And so this is just some scrap orange cardstock I had, and of course some of my craft cardstock, and some charms and tape. So let me show you what I used to create this card, and then we'll get started. So first of all, I did the craft paper 5x7, and I'm doing it this way today. We're going to do it horizontal instead of vertical 5x7. And then I had some scrap orange cardstock, and I cut this down to 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 to use that as a mat. Then the stamp set that I used today comes from G's Embellishment Emporium. And boy, I put that on the wrong side, didn't I? But I'm going to be using the rake and the basket and the leaves and the sentiment that says fall and leaves and the pumpkins. So I already have those done. I'll show you those in a minute. And then I'm also going to be using some of these fall flowers that I got from Hobby Lobby a while back. And you're going to need a little piece of brown twine. And of course you're going to need some ink to stamp your stamps on. And I used Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And I used some of the little scrapbook adhesives. And I got these from MayMayMadeIt.com. And of course, the little tape across here I got from that I got from the Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I had used these actually on my planner a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to be using that. And then here are the stamped images that I cut out, and I fussy cut all these out. So we have the rake, and I did these ahead of time, guys, so it wouldn't take so long. And I did the little basket and the leaves that actually go in the basket, and of course the fence pieces, and then a little pumpkin. And then here's a piece of the scrap paper I'm going to be using. This is the last little piece of this paper that I have. And then we're going to be using just a piece of scrap of the craft paper. So, and then we're going to be using this cute little scarecrow charm. And I got these from G's Embellishment Emporium. Of course, when I got this one, it was silver, and I embossed it with a copper embossing powder. And I think I've showed you these a few weeks ago, but that's what I did with that. So now let's get started making the card. So as you know, I build my cards off the card base. And this is so if I mess up, I don't mess the whole card up. And this is just paper. So first thing I'm going to do are lay down my foundation pieces that I have. I'm going to take this scrap here, and this is going to go along the bottom. And the scrap's not quite wide enough long enough for the whole thing, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take my art glitter glue and glue this to that. Oops. Because really this piece right here is not going to really show, but I didn't want the orange to show down there on the bottom either. So that's why I'm gluing this down. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is figure out where my little broom's going to go in relation to my little fence pieces. So I'm going to get actually it's not a broom, it's a rake. Now, I mentioned that I fussy cut all this stuff out. I was not fussy cutting each one of those little pieces of rake out. So I actually colored it all in brown. But it's not going to really be seen because we're going to put our fence here on the side. And the broom is going to be sort of tucked in behind. I mean, the rake's going to be tucked in behind like this. So I know where my fence is going to go. And I'm just going to take a little orange colored pencil. And I'm just going to make a little dot here with the orange pencil so I can see it. And that's where I'm going to glue my rake. And I'm just putting little dots of glue there with the okay. There we go. Now, this should work out perfect. Yep. Because we wanted to hide the rake partially behind the fence. Now, I am not going to glue the fence down. I am going to put these little tiny foam dots on it so that it gives it a little bit of dimension because I didn't want a totally flat card. And these fence pieces were actually a little bit longer, but I cut off about 4 of the little posts to create an opening in the middle. So it actually had like this many more on it, but I had cut that off. Okay, so now we're just going to stick this down. One thing I will tell you is that when you're creating cards and you get an idea in your head, just go with it. Like I said, it's just paper. And if it doesn't work out right, well, you know, it's just paper. So, and I typically lay all my pieces out when I'm trying to design a card. I lay all my pieces out first without gluing anything down just to see how it might look. And then I go from there. Okay, so that's our first little piece. Now we're going to take the next part of the fence over here, and I am going to put a couple of these together because it didn't come out quite as long as I had wanted it to, and that's okay. I think, do I want 2 or 3? 4, 5, 6. Actually, I think I'm going to do 2. So I'm actually going to cut, oh, where's my little fussy cutting scissors? I'm actually going to cut another one of these off. And I'm trying to follow the natural curve of the fence post so that it will match. Okay. So this is going to go right here. We're going to line this up on this edge. And I want to see which one I want to do first. I'm going to cut one more off. Sorry, guys. That's perfect. Okay. So I'm just going to put some foam dots on that. I'm trying to watch the time. Don't want to run out. One thing I've learned about not going out and buying a whole bunch of new supplies this last few weeks is that you really can get creative with whatever you have in your own little stash. Like I said, all these are bits and pieces that I had left over. Okay, so I'm going to go to the edge of this. and lay this down. And then I'm going to take these two and put them on dots and join them together pretty close there. And I love these little foam dots. Okay, so now we're going to make sure that we line these up exactly even. There we go. And you can't even tell we pieced it together. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our basket and we're going to take our little flowers, or not flowers, leaves, and we're going to put them inside the basket just so that they show like this. Now, would you believe I got all these colors of leaves just from like 3 pencils, 3 coloring pencils? Yeah. I don't know. I bought some Copic markers. I don't like them too much. Oops, and I just put the glue on the wrong side. Huh. I love my pencils. I have Spectra Noir watercolor pencils and some other colored pencils, and I just love them. I feel like I can blend better with them. And I got all these shadings on the fence and the baskets with 2 colors. And they all look like different colors to me. Okay, so we're going to put the basket here. And I think we're going to put the little pumpkin here against like the little fence. There we go. And let's see. I actually like that a little bit closer. And you don't have to do the same thing for every card you do. It doesn't have to be the same look. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to decide if I want the basket closer to the fence and like this. And I think I might do that this time. Put it on the opposite side. Okay? Now, I also put the little pumpkin basket. I mean, the little leaves basket on these little foam dots. And I love these little dots because they're not really that thick. And, but boy, do they stick. And I do not want to see that. But it gives it a little dimension without making it stand up too high. Okay. And now we're going to put our little pumpkin. And I'm actually going to glue the pumpkin down, but I'm going to put half of it on the basket. So it is going to be some dimension because I have the basket on top, the little foam dots, and so part of it is going to be elevated. So that's how I'm going to work that. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now the next thing we're going to do, before we put the little strip down and before we put the top on or anything else, is that we're going to take our little scarecrow guy and we're going to thread a piece of twine through him. Well, if I can get it through him. And we're just going to get it even and tie a little knot. Oh. Okay, so I don't edit my mistakes and my goofs ups out because you know why? Everybody has them, and then everybody sees people that, you know, that do nice things and stuff, and they think, wow, I can never be as good as them. Not to say that I am, you know, the best at what I do. Obviously, I'm not. But I think it makes people more human to see others make mistakes. Okay, guys, I went to say mistake and my camera cut off. But anyway, so we're back where we were. So basically, I got the little scarecrow tied on the thing now. And we're going to put him on the card. And we want to put him kind of like in the middle. So I think I'm going to do about right there. And all I'm going to do is take this and flip it over. And take a little piece of tape and tape him down on the back. So that he will stay put. Oops, turn him over. Okay, so you want to do that first before you put your, you know, your little tape across or your border across here because, let's see, I might need to make him a little bit longer, and this is why. Gotta try him out first. Oh, well. Hang on, guys. Okay. I didn't want you to see me fight with a piece of tape. I'm going to put down this first because that's going to help me center the top. And I like this. It just brings all the little colors together. And of course I am going to now, of course, this is a little bit long, so I'm just going to wrap it around the back instead of trying to cut it off. And then we're going to take our little paper here. And this is a little bit wide for me, so I think I had cut another small strip. I did. And I'm not sure if this is going to fit on it or not. But now I want it a little bit wider than that. Okay, so I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to take my trimmer out. Now, when you have a little piece like this, I don't know about you guys, but it is really hard for me to hold this down because the cutter I have is not in the middle, so it's like this and I can't hold it. So what I do is I take a little piece of my masking tape and I just roll it around and put it on one side and then take another little teeny piece and roll it around and put it on the other side. And that holds my paper down so that I can get where I want it to be. And I want it to be roughly about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to make sure that is straight. And then I'll put my thing down. Oops. And I moved it myself. So let me go back over this. Okay. Well, you guys are getting to see all my flub ups today, aren't you? Oh well. I never claimed to be perfect. But it usually does work for me, but it just didn't want to work that time. And then I'm just going to put this down like this. But this has got that hump in it from the string the twine. So you want to stamp it before you put it on there. So I'm going to put my fall and then my leaves. Try to get that on there straight. Okay. Let's take a little bit of the ink here. Make sure I get it all inked up good. Sometimes when you get new stamps, you have to prime them. But this one's doing pretty good. I've used it quite a bit. Okay, so I'm going to lay this down here. And I'm trying to center this the best I can in the middle. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Make sure I have the same amount of room on each side. Going to glue this down, and we are almost done. The weather's finally starting to change here. It was only 91 degrees today, and it didn't get really humid that bad until later on this evening. Now what I'm going to try to do is look at where my little scarecrow is. And I'm going to try to put this in the middle and still get in the middle of the card too. Okay, that looks good. Alright. Well, I think I will. Nope, I don't like that hanging there. So I am going to cut this off. Alrighty. And then, oh my goodness, my nose is starting to run. I'm going to get the card out. And we're going to center this on the card base. I'm waiting on a phone call pretty shortly here from my friend, Shaniqua, who is going to say, did you eat today? Because I have been forgetting to eat sometimes, but I did good today. Ate all my meals from the Dollar Tree, and I have a new recipe I'm going to be sharing with y'all too. Alright, let's see. Let's get this centered pretty even here. That looks good. Now I'm just going to put some little flowers up here, and we will be done. Let me see which ones I want. Yeah, I think I really do like the green ones. Do I have another big one? That's not quite as big, is it? Let's dump the package out. Okay. I like that one too. So I think I'll just do that one. And then let's put some tiny ones in there. I think I saw some tiny ones. Or do I have a little brighter tiny one? Yep, I think that's going to be it. Yep, that's it. Okay, guys, so that's our card, and I like the way this one turned out. And this is the first one that I did. And you see, basically I just switched the side of the pumpkins, but so that's it. And it's a cool way to use up some bits and pieces of scraps and papers. And so until next week, I will see you guys later. And if you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. Thank you for watching. From my heart to your heart, have a good day. Bye.